Hey everyone, welcome back to another Friday with Dannphan. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a splendid Friday. My Friday has been going fairly slow. I'm kind of half awake. I might have mentioned it before. I go through like depressive episodes, and you know, Wednesday was difficult for me to get through. Tuesday, I think, was the worst. And Thursday, I bounced back. I started feeling really great. And I thought, man, I guess I'm done with the depressive episodes. I guess I'm back on top. And then Friday, I kind of just woke up and I was a little bit, just a little bit zapped of energy, as tends to happen. But it's not all too bad. Just mostly tired, not really sad. So we're good. We're good on the Dannphan stream. So hopefully everyone's doing all right and fine. I guess if you're new to the Fridays with Dannphan, the big thing here is whatever news I didn't talk about in a video, I can talk about here. You just have to ask me questions about it or bring up the topic. Of course, I can also do follow ups on topics that I've already talked about. The popular topic that I recently talked about was the Manga Up app. That English release not being so hot. And I do gotta say, I got a few comments. I didn't think that I would ever get comments that would be defending censorship, but you'd be surprised. You know, it takes all kinds out there. Everyone's got their own opinions, and that's fine. One of them, though, was saying that they had worked on the Manga Up app. I think that it's all bullshit. I mean, whenever I can't verify a source who just says, oh, my dad works at Nintendo, I just assume that they're lying. But they did say something interesting that I saw claimed through a different comment somewhere else. And that was that the real reason why Manga Up has so much heavy censorship is because the Apple App Store has stricter guidelines. And I guess they were just too lazy to make different versions for the different apps or just not included on the Apple App Store. I don't know. But I would actually like to test that theory because, as you know, I've downloaded many, many, many manga apps, and I did the tier list video not too long ago. As far as I've seen, none of those manga apps had this problem with the huge censor bars all over the place. It seems to be like very, exclusive to Manga Up that it has this huge problem. But all of those manga apps that I listed were also available on the Apple App Store. So did they make a different version of their app that has overly censored bars all over the place? Or does Apple not actually care? Does Apple just have a bias against Manga Up and doesn't care if these other manga apps do it? So I would like to test that theory. I don't have an Apple phone, though. I do have an Apple computer, this laptop that I've been using for a million bazillion years, but I don't have an Apple phone. So, any of you out there, if you have an iPhone, you can test this theory yourself. So, Mangamo. It is free to get the app, and you can read certain titles on there for free. And one of those titles I know has a boob shot. So if you would like to help me test my theory and you have an Apple phone yourself, just go to, what is this called? My Wife is Wagatsuma? Yes. Just go to that. Go to chapter 5 page 5 out of 26, and see if this panel that has big fucking naked ass boobs has a giant black bar over it. Go ahead. Test it. I bet that it's the same. I bet that it's the same. I don't think that it's Apple's fault. I think that's their decision to censor all the titties. But that was the claim. The claim was that it's Apple's guidelines on their store. Has nothing to do with, you know, we were forced by Apple store policies. But yeah. Yeah, if you do have Apple phone and you're checking it out right now, just, you know, do a little screenshot of that, tweet that at me, tweet that at Trisha Kafari, and I'll put a debunk on that claim, or maybe I can verify that claim. It would be interesting if Manga made a different app with all the censor bars all over it. I mean, that would confirm that theory if it were true. If it wasn't, then it's like, okay, so Apple's okay when these other apps do it, but they weren't okay when Manga Up? I don't know about that. Yeah, journalism. There you go. There you go. If I had an Apple phone, I would test it myself, of course. But yeah, I don't do the iPhone thing. Most people I know don't do iPhones. They do Androids and Google phones. It's been a while since I've seen an iPhone anywhere. I guess they were a huge thing when smartphones were originally, you know, coming out, but nah. Oh my gosh, you showed Bob's on stream. Technically, it's already censored in the manga. They like erased the nipple, and that's their form of censoring it. But there's no giant fucking black bars. And they claimed that, this commenter that I'm thinking of anyway, they claimed that the manga's already censorship of the pages was not enough, and that the Apple Store policy just wouldn't allow it. It had to be censored even more, which is why they needed the black bars. Orange Within says, I can confirm there are no black bars. Well, there you go. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, guys? I enjoyed your manga app tier list video. Would you like to make webcomic app tier list video maybe in the future? I feel like I would be way too biased in that video, honestly. Just because I don't really like webcomics, and there's not really a lot of webcomics I can recommend, which is why it's always so shocking when I do find and read a webcomic that I enjoy. But yeah, it's also really sad when people send me their webcomic and I'm like, I don't really want to read a webcomic though. I have heard that Webtoon has the best webcomic app. Cannot confirm, but that's what I have heard. I mean, another thing with getting a webcomic apps on this phone is, you know, I don't know what fucking spyware they have in there. You know what I mean? Where is Manga Up on your list? Can you try it? Manga Up was not out yet when I recorded that list. I pre-recorded that video, and it was by pure coincidence that when I came out with that video, it was the same week that Manga Up had come out. I had no idea that there was a new app coming out. I had no idea that it was that week and that there was going to be a whole controversy over it because of the crazy censorship. Ridiculous censorship, really. I feel like it's hard to justify it, but some people still try, you know? It's... you know, I'm just kind of... I'm not a very argumentative person. So at some point, I just get really tired and I'm like, whatever. I mean, if you want the manga censored, why would you even want to read it. If you don't like what's in it, if you don't like what the author put in the manga, why do you even want to read? Whatever. Anyway, I don't know, man. There's some things that are a little bit too raunchy for me in certain comics, in certain manga, and certain medias. But I can put up with it because I'm an adult. And then when I review said piece, I point out that, hey, there's this thing in here that was a little too raunchy for me and I didn't like it. That's it. I don't have a mental fucking breakdown and like demand for it to be censored. But yeah, so I could always do a part 2 of the Manga App list and put Manga Up on there. But the huge problem with that is that there's no F on that list. Yeah. For all of the webcomics you see, now you got me thinking about webcomics. For all of the apps that I did put on that list, I had never seen censorship that bad. All the censorship in there, from what I could tell, was censorship that was already in like the printed version of the manga. Or maybe the localized version of the manga. But you know what I mean. It's like erasing the nipples and adding a smoke screen and stuff like that, which is way better than adding an ugly black bar over it. I think everyone can agree. I don't think that's like appalling to say. It's pretty obvious, you know? Oh yeah, you mentioned it too, including one for someone's knee. Yeah, right. Yeah, Apple guidelines so strict that you cannot have knees. Yeah, I believe that, right? But I think Manga Up would be an F. Yep, there you go. Yeah, I think so. I think so. You know, it's almost like it wouldn't even be allowed on the list since it's like so beyond what a normal manga app would have. It deserves the trash can. Yeah, right. It does. But yeah, that was super bad censorship. That was historically bad, you know? Yeah, imagine if I really did have to like censor my boobs on YouTube. Oh yeah, people are mentioning the letter Y was censored because it looks like a cleavage. I heard about that. I didn't see it, but I did hear about it. A lot of people were talking about, oh, even the letter Y was censored. What the fuck is up with that? uh, but what other news do we got besides the very obvious shitty Manga Up news? Hmm. Still waiting for that tweet. Let me look. Only if it's convenient, of course. To send. Oh no. No tweet. But I didn't. I did notice that my one meme tweet is getting a lot of likes. Yeah, you guys like that, huh? It's good shit right there. Did you watch the D&D movie trailer? No. I was not aware that existed. The only D&D show that I've heard about is Critical Role Show, which I guess is not really D&D, but it is, but whatever. Let me see if I can find it. D&D. Oh god, it came right up. Movie trailer. Oh god. Oh my god, no! Why is he in the movie? I can't do it. Honor Among Thieves. Mm. Yeah, you know what? I'll just skip this. Maybe I'll watch that later, but mm, I'm not feeling it right now. Plus, I guess the audio will get me copyrighted. So classic, classic YouTube rules. No mystery science theater here. But yeah, me and Adam were planning to do kind of a D&D-ish themed comic. Well, an adventuring party, high fantasy type comic together. We were hoping to get that out by the end of this year, but since I was planning to help fund a friend of mine's webcomic into getting printed into a book and published on burningstarcomics.net, link in the description. Since I was planning to do that this year, I might have to push it. Unless I try to fund it during the Christmas season, but that kind of sounds dumb. Kind of sounds like I wouldn't be able to get a lot of funding because people are going to be buying gifts. And if your comic isn't going to come in time for Christmas, it can't very well be a gift. And shipping is hard during Christmas. It's hard to get things on time. So many things moving around, everything's much, much slower. But yeah. I love the all caps webcomic. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, one of those webcomic creators who does not want it to stay a webcomic, they want it to actually be a real comic, not that webcomics aren't real comics, but get it printed in physical form and get it published with somewhere, not just make money through ad revenue. Boyfriends Read Along Part 2 win. You guys really like that one? I'm a little bit surprised that people really enjoyed that read through. I mean, it's pretty boring to read, honestly. It's just kind of these really short comics with one joke, and usually the joke isn't really that funny. but but yeah, people were really intrigued, I guess, by how weird it was, how the characters were written and everything. And the drama in the background of the boyfriend's writer is somewhat interesting. So it makes it a little bit more interesting to read, knowing that there's drama with the readers and the creator. But you know, I was planning another DCYA read through to do the Monday read through things. The next one I have on my list is Victor and Nora, a Gotham love story. I feel like that one's going to be super bad, but maybe less bad than Catwoman, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're connected either. I'm assuming that they're not. But it is the same writer as Under the Moon, and it's another DCYA. That's what's interesting to me, is that they actually got this writer to come back for another book. After Under the Moon, they were like, that was great! Do another one! But interestingly, this one is actually supposed to be a love story, whereas Under the Moon was just not. It's just like it had romance implied, but the main character was way too much of a bitch to engage in an actual romance, Are you going to read Satana's GN? I thought that wasn't out yet. Let me look it up. Because I wasn't able to find it on any of the comic reading sites, if you know what I mean. Satana, what was it called? Great. Yeah, I'll just write DCYA. They'll know what I mean. Oh, they don't know what I mean? Where is this comic? Neville. The Jewel Gravesend. It is. Mm, where's it date? Well, it says it's available. So if I buy it, I can read it. But I have not found it on any other comic reading websites. So, is it worth it? Is the question. Is it worth the $17? One of the quote unquote controversies about the I Am Not Starfire read through was that I actually bought that one. I bought that one to read it before it actually turned up on the comic reading websites. And I didn't mind at the time. I think it was fairly cheap. Like I got it on sale or something, but not that it deserved any money whatsoever. This author works for peanuts and pocket lint, so it's the only one they can afford right now. Yeah, there you go. How about some underground comics from the 70s and 80s? What are you guys feeling? I feel like nobody would watch those videos if I just review only the good comics, you know what I mean? $70, $17 too much. Yeah. It's more expensive than the other digital comics that I've actually purchased in my lifetime. Did you ever go to a Universal park sometime during your life? No, I've never been to Universal. I've been to Disney World. And I asked Adam at one point, like, would you ever be interested in going to Universal with me? And he's like, nah, I feel like if I were in Florida, I would just go to Disney World. What's the point of going to Universal if Disney World is right next door? Which is fair, but knowing that Disney has gone downhill, maybe I could get him to change his mind. I mean, Universal has Super Mario World now, so that's pretty tempting, huh? I do want to go to Universal at some point in my life, but I'm not going to go alone, obviously. I got to convince Adam to go with me. But you know how that goes. You ever gone to a Six Flags? I have gone to Six Flags. Six Flags, Busch Garden, Hershey Park. Yeah, I think that's all the theme parks. I think I just listed all of them that were well known. But maybe half price. Universal's worth it more so than Disney. Also, they're way overpriced now. Yeah, of course, Disney has raised their prices. But part of the reason why Adam's family always goes to Disney, part of it is because they obviously love Disney stuff. That's no secret if you know them. But they also have Disney credit cards, so they get points. They so it makes going to Disney World way cheaper when you stacking up the credit cards with all that credit. But I thought I said Hershey Park. Are you a roller coaster girl? Yes. It's a shame that I went to so many theme parks when I was so much smaller and either couldn't go on the roller coasters or were too scared to. But once I eventually did have the, bravery to go onto the roller coasters, I enjoyed them so much. So, yes, I'm pretty big on the roller coaster rides now. But yeah. Last time I went to a theme park was actually Disney World, and I still remember the roller coasters that I loved the most and went on multiple times. Well, actually, the Rockin' roller coaster I really like. I hear that they're gonna reskin it. I don't know, but Please don't reskin it. God damn it, Disney. I only went on that one once, but I did go on the, what was it called? Escape from Mount Everest? It's the one with the Yeti in Disney World. That one's super fun. That one's great. Ugh, good shit, man. Dorney Park? I don't know. Have I been to Dorney Park? I think I might have, but I must have been pretty young. Because I remember the dinosaur. That's about it. but yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do think I was. I do think that I was at Dorney Park. Expedition Everest, that was it. Yeah. I mixed up the words a lot. But good stuff, right? Oh, by the way, the thermometer, I finally made it. I made my thermometer. Only a little bit higher to go till we reach the goal. Here we are. I'm calling this the Be My Escape Fund. And I will sing Be My Escape if we get to the top. But yeah. I personally like writing down goals. I like seeing progress in my life because it does make me feel a lot better for not making any progress or for not making any like extremely noticeable progress, you know? Oh, you guys trying to move? Oh, yeah. I gotta get out of here. Not that this area is terrible, of course, but ideally, it'd be nice to be somewhere else, very far away. But yeah, so that's gonna be my way of showing a goal and slowly coloring it in as we get further up there. I feel like I should hang it somewhere so that people can see my progress and they can also like cheer with me. But where do I put it? Do I put it with where the X-Men poster is or underneath? That wouldn't really look good underneath it. I gotta like stand it up somewhere. Stand it up like here. No, but then it'll cover up my nice shelf. Ah, this is hard. Maybe I should just put it like here and then I can like wave my hands around and talk to you like this. Maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah. This is difficult. I'll figure that out later. Hang it near your light switch. Well, there's not a whole lot of room near the light switch. The light switch is kind of like already crowded with stuff next to the one pieces. Oh, you mean that other light switch next to the wanted posters. Yeah, there. The thing about that is my videos cut off that piece. They like cut off everything beyond the wanted posters over here. So I don't think people would really see it. Oh, the mirror. That's a good point. Maybe over like here? Eh? Can you see it? Can you even see it from over there? Oh man. You can kind of see it. I guess. You can kind of it's pretty dim. Especially when I increase the brightness for my videos. That's going to be super dim. But at least it would be somewhere in the room, I guess. Man, I can't wait for someone to bitch about me having too much stuff in here. I do got to start moving stuff out at some point. Ugh. But, you know, one thing at a time. We'll deal with it later. Do you exercise, Dannphan? Not really. I go for walks, and that's kind of my form of exercise, but I don't lift weights or anything. I don't go to a gym. Sometimes I guess I lift weights, but it's not like It's not a routine. Mm, you know how it is. Use clear tape and attach it to the ceiling so it just hangs in the middle of the room. There you go. We're thinking outside the box. Did you play Multiverse yet? No, I have not. I didn't even know it was out, honestly. But how is it? Is it awful? I bet it's kind of I see so many Smash clones coming out of recent years. But the last one I remember was like super pricey. What was the Nickelodeon Smash one? I remember being super like pricey for what it was. It's like $60 or something. Something like that. Hmm. I don't see it. Well, it doesn't really matter anyway. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, yeah. I mean, it looks like a fun game. But I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll go back and get it just so me and Adam can play for the lulz. Yeah, multiverse feels weird because the characters used are all from different sources. It's probably mediocre at best, terrible at worst. I feel that. Just by looking at it, I feel that. You know? That was like the first thing that me and Adam mentioned when we were reacting to it. It's like, why are they mashing up these different characters? It doesn't work. They do have Ultra Instinct Shaggy though, so well, that's a plus, right? All right, guys. So news. Do we have news? Let's pop on to Bounding into Comics. Okay. The first news article was just like, alrighty then. I see how it is. This is interesting. And by interesting, I mean horrible, but something that I think people, I guess, should know about. Because you guys were interested in I mean, I guess a bunch of guys were interested in my Eric July coverage. This is on Bounding in the Comics right now. Marvel artist attempts to get Ripaverse colorist banned from all future Comic Con events. Which, yeah, that's pretty shitty. You should not be doing that. I mean, it's the typical cancellation type mentality where it's like, I hate you so much that I'm going to try my best to ruin your life. Yes, yeah. Not fun. I hate that mentality, and I think that it's unhealthy. I mean, really, it's unhealthy for you doing it, but it's also unhealthy for society as a whole. Are you a comic artist? I am. Thank you for asking. Thank you. I'm coming out with some comics soon. But yeah, let's look at this article, I guess. My God, 3.2 million raised so far. That's about to go up even further after this controversy. It's just the more controversial it is, the more elevated you are, because the more people who are going to be talking about it. Marvel artist Mark Brooks put forth a plea on Twitter to ban ISOM #1's colorist from future San Diego Comic-Con events. Gabe, can someone like sound this out for me so that I can pronounce this? I don't mean to skip over his name. It's just that I'm not good at speaking. Altair. Can I just call him Gabe? Is that good enough? I don't know, man. Be nice to me. I'm stupid. Please. Mm. Mark Brooks is an artist relegated to work on a few covers over recent years, with 3D renderings not suited to sequential production work at a reasonable pace. He has spent countless hours tweeting about his hate for independent creators in the Comicsgate. Uh, is Eric July technically, is he in Comicsgate? I don't know. Comicsgate has been very confusing for me lately. But for the most part, I always felt like Eric July was just doing his own thing. Like he wasn't really attaching himself to a group. But I don't know. Because people are always going in and then going out of Comicsgate in and out. It's like the original people in Comicsgate aren't even there anymore at this point. You know what I mean? But whatever. Labeling the group alt-right con men for their brave act of telling mainstream publishing they won't submit to the woke agenda in their books. Brooks has spent the last year and a half harassing Comicsgate creators, including Cyberfog creator Ethan Van Sciver, regarding whom he has made many passive-aggressive tweets. Brooks once claimed to his audience, "He needs you until you're used up, and then he'll either discard you or turn on you. Mark my words, that day is coming." Skip over that. I just want to hear about what he said about Gabe. Is that here? Okay. Nearly 800-word rant. Mark Brooks paints himself as a victim. Okay. RoboJoe. What the heck? What is this coverage? Just tell me about Gabe. All right. Brooks reacted to an image the Truth, Justice, American Ray creator posted where he can be seen posing in front of Brooks' shared tweet at the CDCCCSCS. I told you guys I'm dyslexic. Now I'm just proving it to myself. SDCC. While Brooks was not there. At the time, Gabe wrote, "Couldn't find little Marky. Maybe tomorrow?" including the hashtag Comicsgate and sharing the respective photo of the booth. Brooks took this as a threat and claimed he contacted security at the event. Interesting. The first few days of the show went by without a hitch. If anything, it felt like one big party, and I was loving every minute of it. Things changed when the Fire Nation attacks. Things changed Saturday night. I got a message from a friend with a screen cap from Twitter. This is where I got a little nervous. And there it is. Right. It's obviously meant to be like a little joke, a little jab at him, like, "Oh, I didn't see him at the booth." And then he's like, "See, I'm not scared exactly because I'm a big manly man and I have a huge dick, but recent events around the country put my guard up." What is that referring to? I spent the next day scanning the crowd around my table. Every once in a while, I didn't think anything would happen, but also didn't want to get caught off guard. By the afternoon, my attention had turned to anger. My caution had turned to anger, but also I was paying a lot of attention. How dare anyone try to ruin anyone else's good time? I'll zoom in here so you can read it alongside me. I wasn't going to be intimidated by someone looking to ruin my con high. Oh, convention high. For some reason, at first, I was thinking to myself, who are you conning? Are you conning people? Because, con has this whole other definition to it where you're conning people out of their money. But anyway, that's why I was confused. I went to my booth manager and asked for security. Within 15 minutes, I had 2 plain-clothes police officers at my booth. I shared all the posts I had, along with the photo he posted, and asked that he be told to leave me and everyone else alone. My understanding it that he wasn't at his table any longer and had relinquished his spot to someone else. So I have no idea if he found out police were looking for him. If he didn't, he does now. Since then, he has scrubbed his Twitter of any mention of me. So I can only assume he got the message. But it doesn't erase what he did, which was nothing. He didn't do anything. He took a picture of your booth and posted it. Okay. He took his harassment into real life. He recorded videos at SDCC mentioning me by name and that he was looking for me. I was hoping this is the end of it. I'm hoping this is the end of it, but I also worry about future convention appearances. This person does not seem stable. If he is attending a convention as an attendee or guest, I won't be there. I am alerting all my convention contacts that this will be the case from now on. If this person has harassed or sought to intimidate you, I advise you do the same and document everything. Contact every Comic-Con and tell them to not get this Gabe fellow in there. Oof. Well, you see, this was kind of blown out of proportion. It kind of just seems like he was waiting for this guy to say anything just so he could have an excuse to try to get him kicked out of Comic-Con. I mean, even if this didn't happen, he probably would still go on a rant of some kind saying, how could you allow this guy to show up here? What are you thinking? Don't you know anything about comics game? Get this guy canceled. Don't invite him. Even if this didn't happen, he would probably be tweeting all that stuff out. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess that's the story. Not fun. Not fun at all. All right. Oh boy. Rippa is friendly with anyone who doesn't hate him. CG have gotten along with him swimmingly. Ever since Razorfist made his Iron Age comic vids, everyone has accepted that they are the Iron Age. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I'll be nice to anyone who's nice to me too. I mean, it's a pretty simple rule, right? It's just you know, treat me with respect. I'll treat you with respect. Simple as that. But yeah, you know. Male Karen, I guess. If you can even call it that. Like I said, it sounds like he was just so ready to make this big statement about how Comic-Con shouldn't have any of the Rippaverse show up. And the fact that he just gave him a tweet to use as part of the reasoning, so goofy. You posted a picture of your stand and you're like, it's a threat. He's going to kill me. My God. But, you know, I mean, there's so many tweets of theirs that you could easily try to spin and say it was a threat. How brave he is to speak out. Oh, yeah, telling his story, right? Dannphan, did you ever watch Young Justice after season 2? Season 3 was bad, and I skipped season 4. I have not. Sorry. If you're looking at me to like give you a review of how it's been, can't really do that for you. But, you know. If comic ages are being likened to metal, what kind of metal does Burning Star hope to herald? That's an interesting question. I know that Falling Stars do have metal in them. or at least have a chance to have a certain type of metal in them that people in some medieval ages would actually use to make weapons, because some of the metal would be somewhat rare, or at least not really found. I forget. I feel like it was iron, to be honest. But that's like just the first thing that comes to my mind. Um, man, this fucking this is not a good Google search here. Meteor metal. Maybe that'll. I'm like getting like band names, and yes, okay, iron meteorite. It was iron. So there you go. There you go, guys. It's all part of the Iron Age. Because meteorite metal is iron. The more you know. It was nickel iron, titanium. I mean, there are a bunch of different types of metals that could be found in meteorites, but the one that I was thinking of that was used for metal whenever, it's interesting hearing about meteorites falling onto Earth throughout history. So imagine what they must have been thinking in the Middle Ages, watching like a falling star crash into the Earth and be like, oh, fuck. God just gave us some sick metal. Let's make swords, you know? That must have been quite exciting. But yeah. So Fan, any plans for convention appearances? Or you know what? It's kind of a sad story. Me and Adam were planning on going to a convention here in Pennsylvania that was coming up the first week of August. But right now, Adam has COVID. So it's not really looking like that's gonna happen. He's still not feeling better, or at least not better enough for me to go over his house. And, that's also a shame because I left all of my comics at his house. So I gotta go over there eventually so I can ship out the comics. And then we were also planning on having a little short vacation in August to kind of celebrate our, anniversary plus my birthday in one go. But, COVID, it sucks. It sucks. It ruins your whole schedule. And it's been giving me some crazy anxiety too, because I'm usually very on the ball when it comes to getting packages out there. So whenever anything stops me from shipping out a book, it's just like this little thing ringing at the back of my mind, like, don't forget you have books to ship out, Dannphan. It's like, god damn it. I can't though. But yeah, it would be fun to go to conventions, but we wanted to go to a bunch of anime conventions this year, and most of them just snuck up on us. You can go to New York's Comic-Con. Is that not going to be in August? I feel like most of the Comic-Cons that are happening in the summer. But I mean, I guess it's possible that there could be. Oh, it's happening in October? What? That fucking sucks. Yeah, Adam would never want to go into New York, though. Neither would I, to be fair. New York fucking sucks. No offense. No offense to people who live in New York. But New York City is not super great. Not super great, Can we send you art? Of course. You can always send me art via email or PO box. If you're like talking about like physical art, then you can also send me that. Yes. You can DM me for a PO box because I don't really make it public. Not that it matters that much because, it's just a PO box. It's not my actual address. But I still feel like in this day and age, with the internet being as polarized as it is and people being fucking crazy online, I just don't want people sending me bombs. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't go directly to me, I just don't want any crazy people sending me crazy things. But yeah, damn, it's hot down here. It's never hot in the basement, but it's just super humid the last few days. Awful, awful stuff. Like both OtakuCon and Anime Matsuri are happening this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, everyone wants to do conventions in the summer, which is fair. We thought we were going to conventions, but you know what? It looks like we, for the most part, missed our chance. It is kind of sad. Dannphan has cons been the same? Are they still fun? I don't know, because I haven't been able to go to any of them. Why do you remind me of my cruel fate? All right. Are there any other... We only got a few minutes left of the Friday stream, guys. Is there any other news topics that you would like me to cover that I haven't made videos on, or something maybe that you want me to do a follow-up on? I can talk about the latest One Piece chapter. It was a pretty good chapter. I actually just read it today, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty good chapter. It's a pretty good chapter. That's all I thought, honestly. What other news is there? Man. After first bait and switch, Kevin Smith claims He-Man will appear in every episode of Masters of the Universe Revolutions. Literally the same thing that he said about the first season, though. He said, oh, He-Man appears in every episode. And yeah, he did in flashbacks. It's not the same. Where's that tweet? That's pretty funny, though. That's pretty funny. Because at that point, he's just trolling, right? Where is it? All right, come on, stop giving me a recap and just get to like the newest news. I do the recap after you actually tell me the actual news. Come on. No, I don't see a tweet. Lies. Oh, it was on a panel. I thought it said that it was a tweet. Okay, Smith made claim to this fact while making an appearance at the Masters of the Universe 40th anniversary panel held during the recent San Diego Comic-Con. That's so funny, though. He said the same thing about the first Masters of the Universe Revelations. And now he's trying to pull that same shit with the season 2. You gotta have some balls, man. What's the email you use for fan art and fan mail? It is trishkufari@gmail.com. That is actually public. You can find that on my YouTube page. You know how you go to the YouTube channel and there's like the About section? My email is on there. So if you ever want to know my email, there's a nice little spot where you can always check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty disappointing. Now that I've actually watched He-Man, I can actually kind of join in on the hate for that show. Before, when I was just covering what had happened with Kevin Smith like lying to the fans about how the show was going to be. Before I was just kind of sympathetic, like outside looking in, like, oh, poor fans, they got fucked over really hard. Now that I've actually watched like the 2000s He-Man and the original 80s He-Man, now I'm like, yeah. Now I'm inside with the fans yelling at it like, God damn, you fucked up the show really hard. It's kind of funny. But you know, did they Thundercats it? No, they didn't. They didn't Thundercats it, but that would have also been funny. Fucking Kevin Smith building up this epic retelling of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, and then like the show is revealed and it's just a bunch of chibi He-Mans with like the big balloon muscles. The power and weight go. Yeah. I mean, it's just the normal problems that a lot of these reboots have, where the person in charge of rebooting it doesn't like the original, and so they seek to do basically the opposite of everything that the original did. And that's the main reason why people don't like it. Because it takes He-Man out of the spotlight, it puts Teela up to the front and center, and then like makes her ridiculously powerful, not very attractive at that. I mean, I don't think she looks hideous, but you know, shaved head, buff arms, and really the personality is what does it. If she had still acted like normal Teela, maybe it would have been fine. But the personality, the new personality they just smacked on to Teela is really what pushed it over the edge of being the most unattractive character to ever exist, possibly. I would actually liken Masters of the Universe Revelations version of Teela is kind of similar to what I've seen in DCYA comics. Like their main character and Teela is kind of similar. Not gonna lie. The whole independence, I don't need your help. So, I'm awesome and amazing and I win at everything. You know, I don't know. You should review Netflix Resident Evil if you want to torture yourself. I don't know if I want to torture myself that badly. I mean, did anyone actually think that the Netflix Resident Evil was going to be good? Let's be real here. You know that wasn't going to be good. Fucking none of the movies are good. Why would Netflix get it right, you know? It's like, has Netflix ever gotten anything right? Ever? In the history of Netflix live action adaptations, have they ever gotten anything right? Have they? I mean, if they did, I want to know. I want to know. What did they get right? Baki and Kengan. Did they make a live action version of that? Baki and Kengan. Netflix. I think you're just talking about the animated show, right? I'm pretty sure you're just talking about the animated show. That would be funny if they like immediately came out with a live action adaptation after also coming out with the it's just that it doesn't count. Netflix anime doesn't count because it's basically just someone else doing all the work for Netflix while they give them the money. But yeah, have they ever done a live action adaptation right? Have they ever done that? Daredevil? Okay, that's fair. Okay, good. Fair enough. I do hear that Daredevil is very good. Eventually, you know, he got, you know, pulled over to the Marvel side, but it did start out on Netflix. You got me there. There you go. Daredevil, that's it. Unless you can name more. If you can name multiple other ones, then maybe I'll see you. Punisher season 1. That's very specific. Punisher, I would kind of like link with Daredevil though, because it's the same universe, it's the same people working on it. You know, it's like they even have they had the crossover to promote one another. You know, I wouldn't really count that as two different things. Daredevil is the exception that proves the rule. Maybe. Maybe that's it. The exception to the rule was just the just that one glimmer of good in a sea of bad, I guess. All right. We are going to be ending the stream soon, guys. That's all I have for you today on this Friday of days. It's very good Friday, yes. Ending remarks, I suppose, put them in the chat. It's been a pleasure doing the stream with you as always. I got my goal set up, and you know I'm gonna work really hard to reach that goal. I am a little bit set back though already because I had to do like some crazy expensive car repairs recently. So when I finally get to go over at Adam's house again and I can actually send out packages for my website, I'm going to do a bunch of new original art pieces. I mean, a bunch. I'm going to really fucking do them, you know? But yes, we're gonna get up there. We're gonna get all the way over the top. You know? All right. Have a good Friday night, everybody. Have fun. And I'll see you next time on the Dannphan Chan. Bye.